Hello everyone, this is Sesh Kashyap. Today I am going to explain you the chapter from your geography book, that is chapter number 5, agricultural practice and its significance and types. So this chapter is about the agriculture and different types of agricultures which we used to practice in our own country. Okay, so let's start. I think you know what is agriculture. Yes, can you tell me what is the meaning of agriculture? Agriculture is the farming of crops, the cultivating of crops, okay, according to season. And agriculture is the most main occupation of the people of the villages. We should say that 90% of people are mostly engaged in agriculture. Okay? Yes. So, let's start. Here some definitions are given to you here. So let us see the definition which is related to agriculture. That is arable land. What is called arable land? Land that is to be cultivated or farmed. Yeah, when the land is for cultivation, that land is known as arable land. Drought. What is called drought? Yes, a long period of abnormally low rainfall where the rainfall will not be. Yes, that is known as a drought. Erosion, process by where materials of the earth crust are loose, dissolved, or we can say it is washed away, moved away. Yeah, usually by wind or it can be by water. Yes, you have noticed this thing कि by the heavy rain, yeah, by the speed of the wind, the soil particles are being eroded. Yeah, that is known as erosion. Next is industrialization, the development of manufacturing enterprises. Yeah, the developing of manufacturing products. Pesticides, chemicals which we are using to killing the insects. Yeah, that is known as pesticides. Sustainability, yes, to ability to keep everything in maintained manner. Yeah, to maintain fit. Topsoil, what is called topsoil? The upper few inches of the soil in which worms, beneficial bacteria and humus can be formed. So that is known as the topsoil, where you can see worms, bacteria and humus can be formed. Toxic waste. What is called toxic waste? That is known as the poisonous byproducts. Yes, as well as organic waste from animal farms. Urbanization, the movement of population towards the city. A large number of people, those who are migrating towards the city, is known as urbanization. So, now we have just learned some of the definitions which were very important and these were related to the chapter. Now come on, what is actual thing is, what is agriculture? Yes, so let us learn something about agriculture now. The term agriculture comes from the Latin word that is ager and culture. Ager means soil, culture means to cultivate the soil, meaning soil and to cultivation. Agriculture or farming is one of the oldest occupation practices, yeah, known to humankind. It is said to be that it is the oldest form of occupation which is practiced in villages. So then the journey of raw materials to finished products involves the three stages of economic activities. Yeah, then the converting of the raw materials into the finished products. It involves three stages of economic activities such as primary, secondary and tertiary. Okay, so let's see what are these here. Today, agriculture is the most fundamental economy, which means demand 90% of our food and beverage requirements. Bulk of our clothing, fiber and large amounts of raw materials required for different industries. The primary includes the cultivation of crops and rearing of cattle. Yes, what it includes? It includes the cultivation of crops and rearing of cattle at the same time. That is known as primary. We shall also develop the understanding of different types of farming practice in the world. So, agriculture is practiced over 49% of the land surface of the area, employing over half of the world population. So, let's see what are these three groups which are connected to agriculture. First is primary activities. What are primary activities? Primary activities are agriculture, fishing, gathering. Fishing gathering, which is connected to the nature. extraction and production of natural resources underneath the earth, that is also known as the primary work, and these works are connected to nature. Next comes to secondary activities. So these which are extracting from the nature, we are just converting into the machines. By the help of the machines, we are converting them into the finished goods. Steel manufacturing, weaving of cloth, and baking of bread. All these are done with the help of machines. Processing of available resources. The natural resources are just converted into the available resources. Next is territory activities. Like if these are all to be supplied to other places, then we have to use transport, trade, banking, insurance and advertising. Okay, and these provide support not only to primary, they also provide a support to the secondary sector. Okay, so it is the primary, it is secondary, it is territory activities. Okay, yes, now I am going to the page number 53. On page number 53, we are having some important points, key factors which can be for agriculture growth. Let's see what are these key factors. First is climate. Some factors which are very responsible, which is very important, for the cultivation of crops. Let's see climate. What is? Climate is the highest factor that influence agriculture. Mostly farming is depend upon the climate first. Plants thrive best under the certain temperature conditions. Every plant needs certain temperature. Every plant needs certain climate. Or if they are grown in a best climate, the production will be very good, which also determine the growth period. The annual and seasonal distribution of rainfall determines the available water supply to plants and to active growth periods of crops. When we are growing any type of crops, we need a proper rainfall also. Yes, every crop needs a proper rainfall, equal rainfall. Yes, so we have to just supply the water also time to time. Next comes the soil. Soil determines the type of crops they can be grown in any region. Yes. Second factor, important factor is that it is the soil. If soil will not be fertile, how will the plants will grow? How will the crops will grow? Okay. So our second factor is the soil. Soil is also one of the most important factor for agriculture growth. Most crops require specific soil characteristics. Yes. Now comes relief and drainage. What is called relief and drainage? Drainage, that is water supply. What we call drainage, it is a water supply. The agriculture regions are located largely in the plains. Yes, rough relief hinders farming. A good water supply, of river water the favors irrigation. If water will be supplied very good, the production will also be very good. Otherwise, if the water is not supplied time to time for the crops, it will dry. Next one, fourth one, human factor. The fourth point of this agriculture growth is the human factor. Social, economic, political factors all play an important role in influence the type of agriculture practiced and even the crops and animals that are grown and raised. Okay, so human factors, unless we will not work hard in that, the output will not be good. The agriculture activity is primarily concentrated in those regions where the key factors are suitable for agriculture growth exist. So let's see some good to know. Some good definitions are given to you which are very important. What is agriculture? The science, the art, the business of cultivation of the soil. Other meaning we can say producing crops, raising the livestock is known as farming. Apiculture. What is apiculture? The rearing of bees. The rearing of bees for commercial work. Horticulture. Yes, the science of art of cultivating fruits, vegetable, flowers or ornamental plants. This cultivation of all this is known as horticulture. Sericulture, the raising of silkworms to obtain raw silk. Viticulture, the cultivation of grapes. Pisciculture, the breeding, the hatching, rearing of fish under controlled conditions. So these are some of the definitions which are related to agriculture here. Yes. Now comes the types of farming. Let us see how many types of farming are here. So there are so many types of farming according to our India. Let's see one by one about each type of farming. There are different types of farming, as I told you right now, on agriculture practices. Yes, let's see. The first, farming can be classified into two main types. First is subsistence farming and commercial farming. So first we are going to learn at sedentary primitive subsistence agriculture. Yes, what I am going to tell you here, sedentary primitive subsistence agriculture. Okay, so let's see. In this type of farming, what the people used to do, same fields are cultivated again and again. Yes, same field is cultivated again and again for a period of following, and the farming community stays permanently in one place. So the farmers, what they used to do, they used to remain at one place and they used to cultivate the land again and again. Farmers do not more careful job of preparing the land and cultivating the crops. So sedentary farmers are those who stay and practice the agriculture. Yes, only in one place. They are not shifting the place from one place to another. So sedentary primitive subsistence agriculture is that farmers are not changing the place from a piece of land by giving organic fertilizers, animal manure or human waste, everything to increase the fertility of the soil. Okay, so that the production can be good. So, and whatever production they used to get after harvesting, whatever they used to need, they used to keep in their own houses, and whatever surplus, that is extra produce, they used to sell by nearby villages or in the market. Have you understood here? Yeah. Now comes, same, it is the continuation which I have told you right now in the summary manner. Farmers used to apply in their fields organic fertilizers, very good fertilizers, especially animal manure. Yes, manure, it's so important and it increases the fertility of the soil. Night soil, that is known as the human waste, are used to increase the fertility of the soil. So in the villages you have seen students, people are just applying their best. They are using their best methods to give the good production. So by applying good fertilizers, animal manure or all this, they just use it for the fertility of the soil. Regular supply of water is also required for irrigation in order to grow crops all through the year. So all these kinds of facilities they used to give to the field, so that at last whenever they will get the production, it will be very good. Next, let's see what plants they used to grow. Crops include cereals, grains like cereals. What are cereals? Cereals means grains. Pulses means dal, like maize, sorghum, wheat, barley, as well as cassava, yam, potatoes, fruits, vegetables. All these are the cereals which the farmer used to grow in their own field. Crop rotation also increases here. Crop rotation means the changing of crops is practiced to increase the soil fertility. Yes, a farmer can grow at least 2 to 3 crops, more than that, in 1 year. That is called as crop rotation. Okay, so the crop rotation is practiced to increase soil fertility. It increases the soil fertility. For instance, leguminous crops like beans, nitrogen to the soil. Such crops increase soil fertility and therefore used in rotation with other crops. So these crops are also they increase the soil fertility and after doing the rotation with other crops. Okay, so this was a little bit information about the sedentary primitive substantial agriculture, in which we have learned that a farmer is just not changing the place. He is staying at one place and he is doing the cultivation. Okay, so have you understood? Or he used to tame the animals also, like buffaloes, pigs, cows, and they are kept as draught animals and they used to feed them properly at the same time. So that means farmers can do both the work at one time. Yes, he can just complete both the work in one time. Okay, so now I am turning the page. That's page number 54. Yes, page number 54. So let's see the continuation of this. So I think everybody have understood about what is sedentary primitive farming. So let's start here. Next one. Now comes one more type of a cultivation, that is known as shifting cultivation. Shifting cultivation. By the topic only you can come to know what is shifting cultivation. Shifting cultivation, people used to keep and shifting and cultivate the land. They used to just move from one place to another place. Yeah, they are not settling at one place. They keep on moving. They are nomadic people. And this type of cultivation is often done by the tribal people. It is practiced by the tribal people. Okay, so what they used to do? They used to just migrate. And it is also known as migrating agriculture also. Yes, we can call it as migrating cultivation. Why? Because people are not staying at one place. They just used to migrate from one place to another. After 2 or 3 years of producing vegetables and grains crops on a recently cleared piece of land, they used to just search a new place for agriculture. So what they used to do? Shifting cultivation is also known as slash and burn cultivation. Okay, and how it is known as? See what the peoples are doing here, what the tribal people used to do. Tribal people used to clear. They used to deforest a forest. Cleared by slashing and remaining vegetation is burned. They used to cut the trees and they used to just burn at the same place. The ashes add potash to the soil, and even the ashes also they are not collecting. They remain at the same place, which increases the fertility of the soil. Then the seeds are sown after the rains. Okay, so this was about shifting cultivation. Let's see, plots are small. Yes, where they used to do the shifting cultivation, those plots are very small. Scattered patches of tilled land, surrounded by broad stretches of forest and grasslands. Okay, so this is. So let's see what are they used to grow it. What they used to grow? They used to grow like manioc, yam, millet, maize, as well as taurons, peanuts, cucumbers, tomatoes, bananas. So all these are the different grains they used to grow in their own fields. 2 or 4 different crops are often grown along each other. As they are ripen at different times, a food supply is always available. Or as they are getting ripe. As they used to get ripe, they used to just pluck it up. Family members do all the work using crude farming methods and implements like stings, hoes, picks and matchlets. Farmers supplement their food supply by hunting, food gathering and fishing also. Okay, so some keep as a few poultry and goats also. Yeah, some tribal people, what they used to do, they used to just keep poultry, that is the hen farming, and goats also. And once the soil fertility decreases, what used to be? The fields are abandoned to soil erosion and farmers moves on. So as one time the soil fertility loses its soil. Okay, the soil loses its fertility. They just change the place. Okay, that's why they build on a temporary shelters. And that's why they are not staying at one place. So they are not building their permanent shelters. They used to build temporary shelters. So, and surplus is sold or exchanged within village community itself. So whatever they used to get from the harvestment, what they used to do? They used to exchange from the community itself. Therefore, it is a type of subsistence agriculture only. So this shifting cultivation also comes under the subsistence agriculture. Okay, in fact, many shifting cultivators are changing sedentary substantial agriculture. Okay, so now the tribal people are willing to live at one place. They are willing to live at one place. Okay, now comes intensive substantial agriculture. Okay, let's see what is this agriculture. Intensive substantial agriculture. What is this? And regions where there are large populations. Yes, regions where there are large populations to be supported on small farms. Agriculture has to be intensive. Yeah, agriculture can be possible. So though it may be for substantial, a large part of the produce can enter national trade. So what is this farming is known as now? Farming is practiced on every available piece of land to support the dense population. So people, what they used to do? They used to apply the good seeds. I'm turning the page number 55. So what they used to do? They used to, yes, every square foot of land, farms are very small of them, and as 0.3 hectares in Japan, 1 hectare in India and 2 hectares in China. That's all. So let's see what they used to do. Rice is the main crop except in low rainfall areas. Yeah, wherever heavy rainfall used to be, rice is the main crop of that area. Intensive agriculture means, yeah, intensive agriculture. What is the meaning of intensive agriculture? It means farmers practice multiple cropping. Farmers, what they used to do? Multiple cropping. And what is called multiple cropping? 2 or more crops. More than 2 or more crops are grown. Yeah, 2 or more crops are grown each year, every year. For example, rice with wheat, barley and maize, or sometimes even 3 crops of rice. So that is, we can say that multiple cropping is also called as crop rotation also. With vegetables, oil seeds, fruits, even sugarcane is practiced. So this returns fertility to the soil and balances water shortage in the dry months. So students, if we grow every type of crop, yeah, the fertility of the soil, what it does, the fertility of the soil increases. As many number of crops we used to grow, that many nutrients we have to add to the soil. So that means different types of nutrients are added to the soil, or this increases the fertility of the soil itself. Okay, yeah. So now we are going to discuss about in areas where fields are very small. Yeah, the areas where the fields are very small, what we require there? Unskilled labor, uneducated labor is required for what purpose? For tilting the land. What is called tilting? To make the soil loose. Sowing of seeds, harvesting the crops. Yeah, unskilled labor is required for tilting, sowing and harvesting. Or where the fields are very large. Yeah, think about that. How the work is done there? By the help of tractors, plows. And that means we are using the machines here. Are also used with threshers, hullers, sprayers. So these are the different machines which we use in the agriculture process. In fact, in Japan, where fields are very small, yeah, when the fields are very small, special types of tractors have been made to work there. Also in the small fields also, in order to ensure. What's the meaning of ensure? That means make sure. High yields and continued fertility. Farmers use plenty of organic as well as chemical fertilizers. They used to use plenty of fertilizers here. Okay. Though animal flooding of the soil by rain is helpful, so farmers use various means of irrigation to grow crops in the dry season. Okay. So in a farming practice called interculture, mixed row of crops are sown to assure food supply all year round. Okay, so this is the areas where they are small, what we have to do, and the areas where they are big, what they have to do. Now comes the yields. Yields means production per hectare are the highest in the world, but yields per man are not as high as individuals own small farms. They are or not same. The surplus produced is sold. What they used to do, the extra production, what they used to do, they used to sold to nearby towns and cities. Some surplus is also exported, yeah, means the extra production, the extra harvesting manner, they used to just sold to the nearby towns and cities, and if more surplus will be, they are exporting to other countries of the world. Okay, yes, so this was about the intensive substantial farming. Now I am going to tell you about what is nomadic herding. Nomadic herding. I think you know all know what are nomads. Everybody know what are nomads. Nomads are those who move from one place to another in search of food and water. Okay, so all these nomadic people, they depend on natural vegetation. Yeah, they are depending on the natural vegetation, and they used to tame some animals also. So for the sake of those animals, in search of forage, that is fodder, yeah, and water, we are just doing the nomadic herding. Next is transhumance. It is a very important transhumance. It's a very important definition. What is called transhumance? Transhumance, where animals migrate seasonally. Yes, animals used to just migrate to other regions. Yeah, along well-defined traditional routes. Well-defined traditional routes. Yeah, they used to migrate to other countries. Some animals are like this, which they used to, if there is a very hot in our areas, they used to just migrate. Or when the season becomes normal, they used to again return. So this process of migrating of animals from one place to another is known as transhumance. Okay, the amount of grass and water determines how long they stay in a place as well as the direction of their movements. Okay, now that is, animals are reared for their milk. How the animals are reared? Yes, why they used to domesticate the animals? Why they used to domesticate the animals? Why they used to tame the animals? They used to tame the animals for milk, meat, skin, and even as beast of burden. Beast of burden, what is the meaning of beast of burden? To carry the load on the animal back, depending on the climate and the terrain, that is the weather. Nomads rear cattle, sheep, goats, reindeer, camels and yaks. The animals which they used to tame it, which they used to domesticate it, they used to depend upon the natural vegetation and grasses in the warmer months and return with the herders to the permanent villages in winter. So in the summer season, the animals depend upon the natural vegetation, grasses, or as the winter used to arrive, they used to return to their own villages in winter. The animal produces for local consumption. Yes, the animal which they are producing, yes, it is only for the local use. These nomadic communities often exchange. These communities, what they used to do, whatever they used to produce, okay, they used to just sold it. They used to interchange. Yes, you know what is interchange? Yes, interchange means whatever product we are having. Yes, we used to give to others, and whatever they used to have, we used to take. So that is known as interchanging, or we can say exchanging also. We can call it as exchanging also. So however, many groups are becoming sedentary now. Many groups are becoming sedentary. Okay, everyone? Understood? Yes. So as far as we studying sustainable agriculture activity does not contribute much to international trade. So we cannot able to do the trade here. Yes, we are not able to do the trade here. The output is mostly for local requirement. So whatever output they are getting of the nomadic people, it is only used by the local people, while it is surplus for trade. Only little is remaining for that what they will do the trade. In the following section, we can discuss types of commercial agriculture which produces a large surplus that is mostly exported. Okay, so this was about the nomadic herding. Nomadic herding. Now comes the extensive commercial grain farming. Let's see what is this now. It is also a type of a farming. Yes, in the easiest manner if I should say, what is this? So let me tell you, it is that work is done with the help of machines. Yeah, every work in this extensive commercial grain farming, work is done with the help of machines. Okay, so what were once of the temperate grasslands are today is the granaries of the world. If we talk about the temperate grasslands, so these grasslands were known as the granaries of the world because the production used to be more and they used to supply to other parts of the country. So today the prairies, these are the grasslands. The steppes, these are also the grasslands. are used to cultivate grains. So nowadays, wherever grass used to grow, these grasses, in the place of grasses, what they are growing? They are just cultivating the land. Wheat on a very large scale. So in the place of a grass, wheat used to be grown here, the bulk of which is far for world trade. So whatever output they used to get by this, they used to export to other countries. Okay. So in contrast to intensive agriculture, in the tropics, extensive commercial grain farming is characterized for those parts of the world where population is relatively low and fertile land is available in plenty. So farms are therefore very large. Yeah, when you will see the farms of here, yes, they are very